Where do you feel your team is, heading into the ACC championships this week down in Blacksburg?
It's always hard to tell, going into a meet. You think you can look at the performances on the list and find out where you're going to be, but meets will never run on paper. I always tell our athletes that. So it's really, I'm not really sure. I know we're going to be competitive, though. We'll go out there and be competitive in quite a few events. And there's some we're looking forward to being more competitive than others, of course. We have Kelly Hayes in the 5,000 and Samantha Shields in the 5,000. They've already put up some really good numbers this year already. And again, you never know who's going to declare for the meet, We also have on the women's side Taylor Middleton. She's tied, I think, for fourth in the conference in the long jump. We look for her to score in the long and the triple as well. Freshman Adita Pessima out of Maryland. She's a freshman hurdler, 60 meters. She's not in the scoring range right now, but she's such a competitor. So we believe she's going to go out there and make a final. Along with Aisha Muhammad. The last 2 years, she's actually a junior, and she had a little bit of trouble the first 2 years with confidence, but now she's really worked hard, putting herself in a position as well as getting a chance to make a final. So those are some of the ones that stand out to me right away that can probably come in there and do very well on the women's side. On the men's side, Greg Larray, of course, he set the school record last week down in Arkansas. He won the meet and broke Roger Kingdom's record set in 1983. He's on a high right now, so he's looking really good going into the meet. And also, on the, I guess on the hurdle side, we're probably going to have 5 or 6 entrants in the men's hurdles, which is really good. So out of that group, we believe we can score some significant points. Last year, as a freshman, Colin Smith finished 8th in the long jump. Now, he's a football. We brought him as a track guy. He's played football for the last 2 years, and we have to get that football weight off of him, and so he's starting to round around in shape, but he's such a competitor as well. He was a Maryland Gatorade Athlete of the Year last year, 2 years ago. So we look for him to be in the mix, making the final, in the long jump. So there's, and then we're not going to be as good on the 4x4 as we thought we would on the men's side because we're going to be missing 3 out of our 4 legs that finished runner-up last year. So they won't be with us until outdoor season for a variety of different reasons, injuries, coming back from injuries and things like that. But overall, we're just going to be competitive in the places we know we can and see what happens.
Coach, you guys have had a week and a half off since your last meet. Some people competed this weekend, but talk about what you guys have been doing to prepare, for this week. It's a big indoor meet. Talk about what you guys have been doing to prepare.
We've been just basically resting up, making sure everybody's healthy, as possible going into the meet. And that's really it. We're trying to sharpen up now. And we always tell them the hay's in the barn. That means all the work is done. You really can't make too many more improvements in fitness or anything like that. But just technically, you can clean up some things you need to work on. And just the confidence level, going in there rested and ready to compete at a high level.
Who are some of the people that you're looking forward to, maybe shock some people and maybe place or score this week that not many people might be expecting?
One person I didn't mention and who's been pretty solid for us all year has been a freshman, Sydney Townsend, and she's going to be running the 400 meters. We also have her slated to run the 800 leg on the DMR, women's DMR. And our women's DMR, I think they're in the conference right now, either between 6th and 8th. I can't remember that. But I think we can shock some people in that women's DMR. So I think that's going to be really good. And also our women's 4x4. It's a fairly new team. It's really young. No seniors on there at all. But I think if they run like they're capable, they can get up there and possibly get on the podium in the top 3 if they put a whole race together like I know they can.
You mentioned in the past that you got a really young team. You got a lot of people coming back. But there was a lot of people that last year scored as freshmen. What are you looking for from your young team this week, building on towards the outdoor season?
I'm looking for them just to be competitive, and that's what we're looking for. And a lot of times, like I said earlier, meets aren't run on paper. You just have to go out there and see who's ready to compete. And I think when you have the confidence from the practices and knowing you did everything the way you're supposed to do it, I think you have that confidence going into the meet. So I think it's just going to be I'm looking for the competitiveness out of all of them. That's what I expect, and they know that we expect that from them. You know, we're a blue-collar program. You know, we might not have everything everybody else has, but we do have belief in ourselves and trust in ourselves. And we go out there and we just compete. And I always tell them, you have to believe you're the best in that event until somebody proves otherwise. You know, so we can go out there and compete with the best of them if we have that in our minds and in our hearts to go out there and do the job.